So as collector sellers, we've all had these different experiences, I'm sure, with selling and shipping and all that stuff. Since most of our stuff is done online, I know I haven't sold any at a toy show yet, other than 20 years ago. But Shane had an interesting story about post office pickup at the house.
Yeah, I had been dropping stuff off at the post office, and it's always, I work from home, and as easy as that sounds like it should be, I would always struggle with getting out of my house, going and making the trip just to the post office. So a couple of you guys suggested just schedule it online, to pick up. So I finally did that recently, and it was just a beautiful day here. So I actually, for the first time in a while, opened all the windows in my house, turned the AC off. It was like 74 degrees. So I'm sitting here with the window next to my desk to the front of the house. And I had put everything outside the front door in the morning. And I, said, labeled the front door as the place to pick it up. So I put everything out there to make sure I didn't miss. And I hear the mailman truck drive up to the mailbox. So I said, oh, let me see how this goes. The guy, I look out the window, the guy's walking up my front lawn. He gets like within 10 feet of my front door, and I'm looking right at him through the window, and he goes, "You gotta be kidding me." And I just started cracking up, and my window was open. The dog starts going nuts when she heard him say that. And I'm just like, oh, this is not going to be good. So I had 33 boxes outside the front of the door. Varying sizes.
God.
There was like 33 boxes, like 10 inches down to like 4 inches, so it wasn't an enormous pile, but it was a lot of boxes. And so at one point, in one regard, I put my head down. I'm just like, this is going to be a disaster. But then at another point, I'm like, well, wait a minute, isn't this their job to like pick up a scheduled piece of mail or pile of mail? So I stuck my head right out the window and cut him right off at the pass. And I was like, is there something you need me to do different? Because this is my first pickup. Did you need me to put it in a box, or should I? And he's like, no, no. I had something in my shoe, and it made me twist my ankle. So it had nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Sorry. I hurt my foot. And so I'm just like, okay. And I come back in the window. I'm like, that was a pretty good, quick cover up. But he was just yelling across my front lawn.
That's
and
great.
Had to make 4 trips all the way down to the street, like a pretty good stretch, with boxes in his arms like this. And I felt terrible. I was like, I'm going to have to put this in a big box next time. But I was just certain he was full of crap, the explanation he gave me. And then I look at him when he's finally done and he's down there at the truck. He's massaging his foot and ankle and shaking his foot in the air. And so then I felt even worse, because I was like, oh my God, I put him on the spot and he really did hurt himself. So the first scheduled pickup was a success in terms of mail, but a disaster in every other regard.
I'm sure he placed them gently in the back of the truck.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I kept an eye for that, because I said nothing is arriving to any of my people in one piece. It's all going to be smashed. That's it.
Yeah.
But no, I think he was good.
Yeah. And those guys have tough jobs, man. They're in those trucks all day with no heat or with no AC, and I love my postman, man. He's awesome. So anybody that's listening that's a postal worker, don't we're not casting stones or anything.
Yeah.
But
I remember my wife said, months back in the middle of COVID, that she had heard from her friends that a lot of people were putting out like a basket on the front steps, or wherever your mail is delivered, your Amazon packages and all that. People were putting out like a basket with like some, bottles of water and some like, snacks or whatever they could put out, prepackaged stuff, just to say thank you, because we were all living on deliveries, right? Like everything you were ordering was online. And that's what it made me think of. Like, next time I'm going to put it in a big box that he could just pick up, and maybe I'll throw some treats out there or something. I felt bad for him, but at first I just laughed when he just screamed across my lawn.
That is hilarious. That's hilarious.